Hey, welcome back to the channel, guys. This is Bigelow Woodcraft, and I'm Jerry. And today, I'm out here in front of the OS-27 Frontier Sawmill. I've been wanting to make this video for quite some time, and today I thought would be a good day to do it. It's cold and rainy, and I'm not going to be out here today. In fact, some of the snow is just melting, so we have the grandkids. My mother-in-law is coming over shortly, so I thought I'd give you 10 reasons why you should buy a sawmill. There's lots of reasons to get a sawmill, but the number one reason you should buy a mill is you like to work with wood. I love building things with wood. It's kind of like burning firewood. It's so primal. It feels manly, I guess. But anyhow, working with wood is very enjoyable. If you have table saws, planers, stuff like that, you're the guy who needs a sawmill. I have an Instagram page, Bigelow Woodcraft. Check that out if you want to see some of the wood projects. I used to build a lot of boats, kayaks, and stuff like that, and paddle boards. Check that out. I have a few of those pictures on there and all the different wood projects I've made over the years. If you're a woodworker, a sawmill is a great way to source your own wood. The second reason is you're in control of the quality of your wood. You can make it as good or as bad as you want. Now, granted, you can really screw up a good tree, but you can really take a tree that's suspect, a log that's suspect, and make it into a good log. I was able to create this pile of lumber, which is all deck boards for trailers and some framing lumber. I bet you dollars to donuts that my framing lumber is in better shape than the stuff I'm going to get at Home Depot. My 2x6s and 2x8s are nice and straight. 5.5, 5.5. Look how clear those are. 7.5. Nominal store-bought lumber sizes, but look at that, much better. 70 board feet. 14 inches, 62 board feet, 32 board feet, 160 board feet. The third reason you should own a sawmill is if you have access to log poles, or you live in a forest like we do, you have a wood lot. We have about we have 75 acres here, and it's all oak trees, maple trees, white pine, and a few other like popples. Every one of these trees I've cut down on my own. There's a couple that my son-in-law's cut down, but for the most part, if you have access to that kind of stuff, no sense in letting it just rot in the woods as it dies. Get yourself a sawmill. I don't cut down any trees that aren't dead on my property. Now, I was just measuring up some hickory back there for a project I have. I did cut those down at a fella's house. He wanted them removed. They were alive. However, all the rest of these were all cull trees. Number 4, you're building a homestead. On your property, you have the trees, you have access to the log poles, and you're building a homestead. You have a farm. You need fence posts. White oak's great for that. Locust is great for fence posts. Cedar's great for fence posts. You're building rabbit hutches or pens or sheds, so forth. You're building a homestead. You want to do some interior work in your house. You want to make your own trim. You want to make your own floorboards. If you own a homestead or building a homestead, perfect time to add the cost of the sawmill into the price of the house. The 5th reason is a little side hustle. Both my wife and I are retired. We do this for some little extra income, a little income flow or cash flow. It's mostly word of mouth. I really don't advertise. I do have a set rate. I charge $75 an hour starting this year. I was at $55 an hour, but I'm jacking that up to $75 after reading a lot of people's comments on what they've been getting. So I thought I'm going to move it up to 75 this year. Nobody's ever balked even at 55. They always say, what a great deal. In fact, I've had people buy me gift cards, buy me tools and so forth because they couldn't believe how much lumber they got for maybe $250. Little side hustle. Another great reason to own a sawmill is you just want to be self-reliant. You don't want to be relying on the man. Prices of lumber fluctuates, and you're at the mercy of big box stores and local lumber yards if you don't own one of these. And the prices, as you know, in COVID, during the pandemic, it was well over $1,000 for 1,000 board feet of just pine. So self-reliance, you want to create your own flooring for your homestead. You want to build your own sheds. You want to build your own stockade fences and gates and cabins and so forth. Self-reliance. You know, being self-reliant is kind of a nice way to stick it to the man. The seventh reason you should own a sawmill. It's great exercise and it gets you outside. One of my favorite things to do is to be outside in the forest, in nature, just absorbing it all. And if you can get some exercise while you're doing that, the sun's shining on you, even a day like this, it's cold and miserable and misting out, I'm outside and I'm moving around. Now, today I'm not going to be doing much, but I did exercise already today. But you're going to get your exercise with a homeowner's mill, a hobby type mill like this. You know, you got to roll it. You got to handle the logs. You got to handle the slabs. The exercise, as you know, is one of the side benefits of this. I feel I'm not in shape until I'm in sawmill shape, if that makes any sense. Number 8, it's a rewarding hobby, guys. It's a fun hobby. I just mentioned to you the reasons I like to get out here in number 7 for the exercise and the sunlight. But the hobby, we all have hobbies, whether it's model cars, RC cars, softball, knitting, quilting. Guys, maybe you're doing that. I actually learned how to knit was it knit or crochet? One of them, the one that has the one needle. I learned that when I was a young man. My mom taught me. I enjoyed it. It's a rewarding hobby. It's a great time to get out here. There's times I cut just because I want to cut and I don't have even a purpose for the lumber. Doesn't happen too often. Most of my lumber is accounted for, but sometimes I just come out here to cut just because it's a great hobby. One of my new hobbies is, it's not new. I've been doing it pretty much all my life, but in the last month and a half or 2 months, I've been playing a lot of chess on my free time. And I'm just enjoying getting my ELO up there. Now, don't ask me what my ELO is. It's really low. But I'm just studying more theory now of chess. But it's a hobby. Great hobby. This is probably one of my favorite things to do is get out here at the sawmill. The 9th reason, and I did mention it earlier in the video, is I cut all cull trees, dead trees off my property. Now, occasionally I've taken one down. Maybe that wasn't where it needed to be, or maybe it was threatening something. But cull trees, for the most part, dead, crooked, broken trees. Those trees end up just falling and breaking and laying in the woods and rotting. Unless you burn firewood, chop them up. And we're just going to create more carbon, and you're not managing your forest. If you can remove those cull trees, let other species come in, or more species of the same type of tree come in, you're doing the forest a great service. Keeping it clean, staying away from fire hazards, keeping the brush down, stuff like that. So you're managing your forest. You're doing your part for conservation. The 10th reason, and the final reason, for me anyhow, is, and generally speaking, these are economical. What do I mean economical? I think the Frontier line is this one's about $4,000, somewhere right around there, without the mobility package, the trailer package, or you just set it up on a foundation. Somewhere right around $4,000 or $5,000. When I bought this mill, I was looking at two different mills specifically, Woodland Mills and the Frontier Mills from Norwood. I went with the Frontier line. There's some other reasons. We can talk about that in another video. But I went with the Frontier line. I've been extremely happy with it. They're economical. Save your ducats, make a little money, and pay cash for it if you can. I wouldn't suggest, and one of my philosophies in life is I don't take loans out for anything. If I can't afford it, I don't buy it. Pay cash. Cash is king, in my opinion. However, these are economical in the grand scheme of things. A Wood Miser, the LT15, I think like this is about a $25,000 mill. I know a friend who just sold one, and he wasn't impressed with it at all. And he actually claims he wish he would have gone as simple as my mill. So interesting take from the gentleman. But yeah, there you go, economical. There's your 10 reasons why you should own a sawmill. There's some reasons you shouldn't own a sawmill. And if you want to hear about those, mention it in the comments below. And if that's something you want, I will gladly put out 5 reasons why you shouldn't own a sawmill. This isn't for everybody. I'm just going to tell you that right off the get-go. So guys, if you like this video, hit the thumbs up, leave a comment, give me some other reasons. If you have other reasons why we should own a sawmill or somebody should buy a sawmill, put them in the comments, please. And if you don't mind, drop a reason or two why you shouldn't own a sawmill. Now, I think I can't find as many reasons not to own a sawmill as to own a sawmill, to be honest with you guys. But that's it. If you like that video, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment, like I mentioned, and share this with a friend. And hopefully this will help you if you're on the fence of buying a sawmill. Check these. Now, I didn't really preface this at the beginning of the video, but this is for these hobby mills and these homeowner mills, like the Frontier, the Woodland Mills, even down to the Harbor Freight Mills and a few others. So, guys, take care. We'll see you out here at the mill next time.